Calgarian, welcome to the West. We weren't supposed to make it, but we made it, yeah. Welcome to the West, safe to say it's my favorite, yeah. Welcome to the West, trying to get paid quick and stay rich, yeah. Welcome to the West, yeah. Welcome to the West, yeah. Welcome to the West. We weren't supposed to make it, but we made it, yeah.
This is here. Cheers, guys. Some tequila.
Cheers.
Oh,
thanks, Tom.
Doing tequila right off the bat.
See you, Jimmy.
I gotta get
Jimmy, Nicky, good to see you.
That's cool.
This is awesome. Great to be among with you guys, boys.
Is this sipping tequila?
Oh, this is
if you're Chilean, I don't know. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Welcome to After Hours YYC. This is episode number 9, and I fired the whole crew. I got a whole new crew. Some of them a little older, some of them a little better looking, some of them a little shorter. But today we're going to talk about soccer.
Some a little fatter.
In Italian, we say calcio, football, futebol in Brazil, I believe. And we're going to talk about Calgary and soccer in Calgary because this is a YYC podcast, even though some of these players have been international here.
Mr. Worldwide.
Worldwide. No, it's a 305, bro. So, before we're going to talk about, I want to do a shout out to, so we have there's a soccer store in Calgary. Matt's a great guy. It's the World of Soccer on 5303 68th Avenue Southeast. Check out the World of Soccer, formerly Fisher's Soccer Shack, been locally owned and operated for 21 years. The pandemic has been extremely hard on organized sports businesses with no leagues running for 14 months, basically. They have relocated. We have relocated 2 months ago after not getting any help from the landlord. So Euro 2020 jerseys and swag is not an only way to support your team, but also to support your local store. So support Matt, go buy some gear. Even, us old guys, maybe we can, some of the gear some of you guys are good, but I don't know if there's an extra large for some guys here, but
Chile's not.
But you probably can buy Copa America gear like Jimmy's wearing, right? Chile.
They probably
right?
only have Argentina though.
Argentina?
Chile
No,
not the Euros.
What, Chile? No. Well, we got Copa America
Copa
and we got European.
We have this lovely panel we have tonight. So we'll start with the oldest guy here, I believe, would be Mr. Jimmy Reyes. Jimmy is Calgary's #1 bachelor. No, I'm just joking. So Jimmy is, we met through the soccer community. I met all you guys. Well, actually, I knew Nicky first because of my family and living in the Northeast and stuff. But I remember watching Jimmy on Channel 10 when he played with the Callies. Was it Celtic back then? It wasn't even Callies, was it?
It
might have been
no,
Celtic.
well, I never played for Celtics, but they did it.
Oh,
was
you were with
Celtics
Eagles.
and it was
Were you
Cali.
with the Eagles before?
I was with East Side.
Holy, that's a long time ago. Huh?
Yeah.
But we were chatting about it. That was fun,
Yeah.
They had the commentating, Dave Randall with the Shaw guy, and it was ahead of its time. It was showing our local talent, and it was fun. I think everybody watched it. That was part of the game at the time.
Yeah, something to do.
And
That'd
most
been
people
awesome
know
to do now. That'd be sweet to do now.
Yeah,
it
you
would
know?
be.
Don't even have to go to the soccer center.
Nations Cup if they do it again. That would
That'd
be
be
even better.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so Jimmy is probably known in the community now more for making fun of people. And Jimmy's old school, man. He just wants none of this cancer culture. We gotta make fun of people still. So he'll make fun of you. He'll make you feel like you're in 1980 again.
That's right.
So what was that? You played for the Canadian team at a couple games, right? Or?
I did, yeah. I played, growing up here, I played with the Alberta select teams, obviously, and from there I got chosen to go to the U23, the Canadian Olympic game, what it was. I spent 2 years with the Canadian Olympic team. I did a tour with the senior men's team to Denmark and the Faroe Islands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What year was that?
89, 90.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was only 19 years old.
So you are old.
Tells you my age right now, yeah, right?
That's a pioneer, though, as a Chilean, Calgarian, to
Yeah.
make that type of level back then.
Especially
It
when I
was
didn't
very
even know how to
tough.
speak English.
Well, you were in Montreal first, right? You guys were in Montreal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good being 19 going with the men's team. Hey?
Oh,
The senior
unbelievable.
Team.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
That's pretty.
And I don't think it was probably tougher back then for players from Calgary. It's probably mostly Ontario players and stuff, right?
Probably.
It was, yeah. I was the only guy there from Alberta, and most of the players either from BC or Ontario.
Yep.
Maybe one or two guys out of somewhere else, from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and that was about it.
So then me and Tim, I played with your brother Matt,
Yeah.
and then so when I was 13, I went to Cottbus for a couple weeks to train, and you were there, and you were like such a good guy because I was like scared to be in Germany, Then it was you, Lars, which Tam, Kevin, McKenna, and then I remember after Lars, everyone was we were juggling the ball. I'm a little kid. I think this is cool. And then I remember just how after all these years, I see Lars playing in the Champions League, man. I'm like, that's friggin' awesome. And then so you awesome. Played in Cottbus for a couple of years?
Yeah, no, I was lucky to, I went over and actually started with a really small team called Königs Westerhausen in Berlin in East Germany, and was lucky enough I just took an opportunity through at the time Thomas Niendorf, who was an agent that was here and a coach, and obviously Nicky and I had played with Owen Hargraves and Kevin McKenna in Calgary, and went over to Königs Westerhausen, and I said to Thomas, give me a chance. So he gave me a call after my end of my grade 10 years, said, do you want to go? I mean, I'd been on trial in Europe the year before with Marseille and Nantes and Crystal Palace and Brighton, but didn't land on, and one of the biggest issues was having a European passport at the time, and so Thomas said, hey, do you want to go? I've got a small little team, but if you get your foot in the door and play well, you have a shot. And luckily, because it was an East German town, I got asked at the time, so Germany at the time allowed you to play in the provincial team. So if you're from Germany living in Alberta, you could play on the Alberta provincial team. In Germany at the time, if you went to Germany and you're Canadian, they let you play on the provincial team. They've now changed that, and that's why Germany's won a couple of World Cups, because they realized clubs were bringing, provinces were bringing in foreigner players. Yeah, right. And so we played in a tournament at the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, and played against Sofia Moscow, Hamburg, Berlin. Nice. Played well, and then the coach of that provincial team was from Cottbus. So he said, "You're Canadian." He had a translator. We were at the Olympic Stadium, the old, from back in the Olympics with Hitler, and it was very Romanesque. And he said, "Do you want to come play on my team?" And I said, "It's in the second Bundesliga." And he said, "You'll get to play in the A-Jugend team and the reserve." And went there, and literally the last game I played for Königs Westerhausen, I tore my ACL, and so they transferred me. And actually, Stefan Holt and Darren Hargraves had been sent over to Königs Westerhausen to replace me when I went to Cottbus. And so,
how long was the recovery?
2 guys to replace you, Tip? Wow.
Two guys. Well, yeah, I know. They're good players. I know, but I think there was a business going on there with Thomas.
But now I'm thinking, you played in the stadium where Italy won the World Cup.
Correct. Yes. No, but guys, like back to Jimmy saying when he played for Canada against Denmark, were these guys? You had 11 channels back then. You had to wake up at Soccer Saturday.
Yeah, like really early, and 6 in the morning.
Soccer Made in Germany.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember that. That was way back in the day.
That was before me.
Yeah, that was one of the only soccer outlets that you had. Like,
when you first came here, you were listening to the radio.
Yeah, you did.
But guys like Jimmy, I didn't play against Jimmy, but you're playing against guys below him that did it, and the pedigree of the players we played with in Alberta made you better. And
a lot of talent here, man.
A lot of talent, and so long story short. I tore my knee. Thankfully, other players, Kevin McKenna was signed and went over. I was my roommate, and then Tam came, Lars Hirschfeld. Literally, guys, Cottbus at that time figured out once I'd gone over, there's a whole plethora of players. And
then finally, we have Nicky here. So Nicky, we kind of grew up together because my older sister. You guys are the same age, and Nick was always a good guy. And I remember when I was probably, 4 years apart, maybe 5 years? Yeah, something like that. I remember I'd maybe be like 11, 10, and you were 15, and you played on that East Side team. And every time you guys played, we made sure that we'd come watch you guys. It was like you had Mark Oliverio on that team. Was there a guy named Mark Oliverio?
Yeah, he was.
Pedro Pudge was in net, like wasn't Simon on that team? Like, that was a really good East Side team, man.
Jesse Jesse might have left by then. But,
I remember, like,
he joined the dark side of Chinooks.
It would be like, like you'd go watch Major or Premier with your dad, like, go watch, but we'd actually go watch East Side under 15 or under 17 play because it was such a fun team to watch.
Yeah, that team was like, it was decent, but it was all like kids in your neighborhood that you go to school with.
You go to school with,
that, right?
There was a lot of talent in that area.
And that area was pretty talented back then. Yeah.
And then you had as a Calgarian, you probably played on almost every Calgary team. You played on the Mustangs. You played with the Storm.
Yeah.
You played with, what was the United team where it's indoor, right? Calgary United.
That was, it was Calgary United, Calgary Storm, Mustangs, United, and then Foothills, all PDL stuff. And then actually the Mustangs and Storm made it to like the A-League, which is like one below the MLS.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But the stadium, I think, was a little rough playing in McMahon. It didn't have the atmosphere. The atmosphere, I think, was better in Glenmore. with the PDL. It felt
Right.
more. That's
Right.
I think part of it.
Or even Shouldice too, right?
But then Mustangs had less Calgary players, didn't it? As the
it
Storm.
did. Yeah, Storm was all Calgary
All
and
Calgary
Edmonton.
minus-
And Edmonton guys, yeah.
Calgary, Edmonton.
Yeah, like
and a
Zaniga was on
couple-
the team and stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
a couple Lethbridge, you know what I mean?
It was
And
it was good, man. It was exciting to come watch. It
the
was,
first year was really good. Like
really
with
good.
Thomas Niendorf, we got
Yeah.
second place in that whole division. Like we came up, you know, and that whole league. I mean,
Yep.
and we came second.
But back to you, Nick. I mean, how many national championships you won as a man?
Yeah, I won 3. I won 2 with Callies and 1 with Scottish. But the Callies team, that was a good team. We could have, I think we went to nationals like 8 times, and we should have won it, like at least 4 times. You know
I'd
what
say
I mean?
even more. Even when I was with the Callies there, we went a few times. We by far had the best team there.
It was a good run. It was a good 10-year
Yeah,
run.
it was a good run.
Out of that 10 years, they went 8 times.
and it
I'd
makes.
say they should have won at least 4.
But it makes you show you. It shows you that there's so many great talent, so many great players in Alberta and in Calgary, and now we see that there's more opportunities maybe for these players, like with the new leagues.
But
and everything.
it also shows you how Canada, like back then, Canada didn't have like the professional players that they have now playing on their national team. Like their national team right now is full of like international players.
Like on paper, it's a way better team than any other team
Well,
because
yeah,
of where they play.
on paper, but it's played on grass, right? So
No, but you have one of the. Isn't Alphonso Davies rated one of the best players in the
no,
world?
no,
this year,
yeah,
you know
and
what I
that,
mean? Like,
and this is my point. This is what I'm getting at. Like back then, you only had maybe 2 or 3, 4
Foreign
players
players.
on the Canadian team that were playing outside of Canada somewhere
outside,
else.
yeah.
But you never ever saw anybody at these national championships, like any of the Canadian coaches there, watching to see if there's like maybe you could have picked some guy here from Quebec, another
Yeah,
guy from
of
Toronto,
course,
or
of
a couple
course.
of guys from Alberta, whatever it was. You never saw any of those national coaches there, right?
I
And
got scouted there at the nationals though.
that might have been like a little bit after,
It was
maybe,
after, yeah.
but
it was
like,
when
there
we
was-
went. When
Yep.
we went,
Yep.
with that good team that we were talking about.
yeah.
Oh, but
that
that's youth.
Yes.
That was youth. I'm talking about men's. Like
Right.
some guys don't develop till they're a little bit older, right? Like
That's
you know,
true, yeah.
Well,
and-
especially when there's no league.
Well, guys,
this
if-
is the
well,
top
yeah,
level in
so-
Canada at the time.
And sorry, Tim,
There's
and
some
I
late
think
bloomers,
that's.
yeah.
I think back then that was one of the biggest problems with Canada is they never sent anybody out there to actually look at these guys that they that they don't get a chance to see because the head coach is in Ontario and this guy plays out in Calgary. He doesn't come out and watch Calgary League or major soccer, whatever we call it, the
Yeah, yeah.
Alberta Major League.
Yeah, yeah, of course,
Right?
of course.
When you go there, then you've got a chance to see it. But they still never sent anybody out there to watch these guys, right?
And Jimmy, and I'll just touch on that. Like that's what Alberta Soccer and Calgary CMSA's for. And you got to ask yourself, what are we paying fees, and what are they doing for the players here? Because they're paid the fees to go and make sure that people are scouted. And one of the exciting questions I want to ask you, Nick, but just touching on this before I go, Bayern Munich, Owen Hargreaves, who we grew up with, has played in 2 World Cups, won 2 Champions Leagues,
Right.
played for Bayern Munich, Man United. Alphonso Davies, who actually was left off recently in a major publication, as he's the top 20 under 20. He's worth the most. They forgot about him in the list. Obviously Bayern Munich and Canada and I'd say the worldwide leagues have not forgot about him, but the media has. And what's amazing is we've got 2 guys who've won 2 We've got 2 Albertans.
Sorry to interrupt, but CBC said that. Well, I read this article that's saying Davies was the first Canadian to win.
Right.
They just made a mistake.
Right.
though.
No, but I mean, and
I think
they're
I think they
not
said
doing their
Canadian
research.
because
The national team.
Yeah, because of the
Owen
national
Hargreaves
team.
Owen Hargreaves played with Cristiano
yeah,
Ronaldo,
yeah,
man.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, but let's be honest. So he moved at 15, and unbelievable what Owen
Yeah.
did and accomplished, and still is doing. He's doing a great job on as a telecaster. But at the end of the day, look, we've got an Albertan who was born and raised here. 2 Champions League, 2 World Cups, best player in a World Cup for
He got
England.
rated best player in 2006 World Cup for
2000
England.
World Cup.
Yeah, he was
We've got
awesome,
Alphonso Davies who immigrated here, but from Edmonton. Why is Bayern Munich not joining up with Edmonton and Calgary and saying, hey, if there's 2 guys
players
here,
that came out of Alberta,
like
yeah.
let's not get hung up on Alberta Soccer and Calgary.
Yeah. But yeah, but you got a point there. though,
guys, if there's 2, let's say this: how many? If we put Owen and Alphonso Davies on the same table as a Chilean, Argentinian, Brazilian, they're going to be in the top 20 for players who have won Champions Leagues. I mean, obviously, like it's an elite,
totally.
it's an elite company.
Yeah.
There's guys that play all their.
It's a great question. We can like argue about it, but I look at it like this: Canada is not going to go to England to look for a hockey player, right? They're not going to go to England to look for the next Gretzky.
But if they're
You know
free
what I
and they
mean?
end up being worth $100 million,
I know, but
I don't understand.
You could get a hockey player that comes from England, and I've always said this as an analogy. You could get like a guy that was born in England and he immigrates to Canada and he starts playing hockey and he becomes one of the greatest hockey players. But Canada is not going to go outside of Canada to look for the next Gretzky, like in England and
I get it, but
France
if
and
it is a
Italy.
business, and they're making money off these players, and you get them for free, because you
Yeah.
technically get them for free here.
But if
Yeah,
you-
sure,
if you-
but they're not going out looking for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
If they come to them, yeah, they're going to look at them and they're going to take
So
them.
guys like
obviously.
you would have to bring them in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, Nicky's developing his sons. Look at the pedigree of the family. I'm gonna look at the lineage and go. I think there's a chance that there could be some good Reyes,
Yeah, yeah,
some
of
good.
course, of course.
So if his brothers, and we haven't even touched on Nicky playing for Canada, which I can't wait to. I was looking forward to this the whole time because after under 19, I went my way to New York and you went yours, but I never got to hear about your story with playing for Canada.
Yeah. What? I guess so. I went to Chile first, and then when I came back from Chile,
Which club were you?
it was called La Universidad de Chile. Boo. One of the there's top three. There's three there: Universidad Católica, Universidad de Chile, and then Colo Colo. Everyone knows about Colo Colo. Everyone talks
Best team in
about
the
them.
world.
That's Eddie Meza is the guy on the jersey, the pitcher. Sorry, Eddie.
And how was playing there? How long were you there?
I was there for about a year and a bit, and then it was different. It was different from coming from like, I don't know, like 15, 16 years old in soccer here in Calgary, and then going there. The caliber, the level was just like night and day. You know what I mean? So then I had to like, I got like kind of scouted at this open tryout that I went to, and then they just gave me a chance, and then they just told me kept coming back, come back. So I kept going back, and I kept seeing these guys like, holy shit, like these guys are really good. Like I have to bring my A game to every practice. Basically, I had to try so hard, and then I just ended up staying. And then I ended up like, I could see these guys they're technically good. They can kick a ball from like across the field, the width of it. They can kick it with one bounce if they wanted to, and they're 15 years old. You know what I mean? And back then, we didn't have that. We didn't do that at 16, 17. But anyways, so I left there, came here, and that's when I got sent to Germany with the Copas with Thomas. And I didn't like it there, so I came back. But then I think Canada Soccer, Paul James, and when we started our team and we went to that national team, he came out and watched because I think he got wind that I was here and there. And then he saw me there, and then he came. I remember he came to.
And before we go, you did hit the post in the third in the semifinal, and
That one would've brought us through.
And it wasn't your fault. We were gutted because we were all over him.
Yeah. It's just not one of our, hard days.
It wasn't our day, but you had a great game.
But anyways, we went to Edmonton, and then Paul James was the coach, and he came down and he saw me playing. It was, I don't know, it was like Alberta soccer. And Tam was there as well, and Tam was playing for Edmonton. You've had North and South, so we played against each other. But then after that, he was like, Nick, you want to come and try come to a camp in Germany? So I went to Germany, and like ever since then, I just stayed. I stayed there the whole time, right? Like he kept saying, okay, come back to the next trial, come back to the next camp, or things like that.
Every SS106 will be hosting all the games here. Even now we're opening the patio, so we have 2 patios. So we'll have outdoor TVs open for every game.
Jimmy, Nicky, I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there, guys?
Shizzle, my shizzle.
Is Chile playing?
Yeah, they
In the
are.
Copa America
Well, you
at
also-
nighttime.
But Copa America 2 hours after.
Well, if it happens.
Mañana, domingos, semana.
Dude, so Jimmy's like, I hope it rains when Italy plays so I can be here all day and night. And then Chile
So
will
I
play.
can watch them lose.
Go fuck yourself, son.
Can't wait
Okay,
for the
Group
orange
A,
juice
start, bro.
with Pedro.
Group A.
Okay, Group A. I'm Switzerland, Italy, Wales, Turkey.
Yeah, okay.
No, and I'm Italy, Wales, and like I said earlier with Nicky, our coach is Welsh. We've got Swansea in the championship playing Brentford this weekend. Wales is on the up with Gareth Bale. And Turkey's going to be third, and Switzerland's going to be fourth because it's Switzerland, man. They
Bro,
don't play good football.
This guy is talking
Chilean
about.
on there, man. We're gonna make it.
Dude, the funny thing is, this guy's like, Wales is on the up with Gareth Bale. Isn't the guy older than Jimmy Reyes, man? So,
And he's got a longer hair than me too.
And
I actually think this group is
a great golf game. He owns his own golf course in his house.
This group is way more competitive than people think. Like, Italy's been playing great. I'm Italian, but I honestly think that it's not going to be that easy for Italy. But I think Italy will win the group.
Yeah,
And I'm going to pick Turkey number 2.
Turks, they fight amongst each other. It's
No,
never
but
gonna happen.
Turkey has been having a great young team lately. Turkey number 2, Switzerland number 3, and Wales number 4.
Wow. It's just,
Well, Gareth Bale, Jimmy's playing too.
there's
so.
people in Wales,
That's
in
bold.
Swansea,
That's a
Swansea,
bold
Wales
move.
right now are just rolling in. Like, just
Okay,
going
and
wild.
then Nick's gonna probably say.
Go ahead, Nicholas.
Thinking about what you're saying, but it's different, man. Like, you got guys coming up, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
all about, can you make them all play together?
Yeah, of course.
I'll just take it as it is. Like, Italy, Switzerland, Turkey,
Oh,
Wales.
my Lord.
That's probably what a lot of people would call. That's probably.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand what's.
And then Group B.
Oh,
Okay,
Nicky.
Group B,
He's-
I'll
he's so
take it
mad.
as it is right there. Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and
Russia.
Ruskies.
Okay, and for you,
Yeah,
bro.
like I said, Belgium, Finland second for my good buddy. Finland's going to be the Iceland of this tournament. The passion and the vigor they have.
They are from
we've-
Iceland.
We've got Russia. You know what? Russia always shits the bed. So I'm going
do.
to put them last. I'm putting Denmark third.
You put Denmark. Oh yeah, before Denmark third. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just don't. I just believe Finland is the Iceland of this term. This is a dark horse. They're going to come with the big. They're not Vikings. They're not going to clap.
Belgium's in the top,
Finns, what they
one
do
of
is
the top
what
teams in
Finns,
the tournament.
What Finns do is they go win and then they go and drink heavily.
and Denmark, yeah, I think is a great young team. They're actually highly rated on odds, like not highly rated, but in the top 10. So I'm going to go Belgium, Denmark, Russia, because Russia is like, man, they're always competitive. They're decent, and then Finland last.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough call. The last two there that you said, I'd say same thing.
So
I-
Belgium,
yeah.
Denmark, Russia, Finland.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with that Finland, Russia, but I'll take it as it is.
But these third place games are huge.
Remember,
because the third, some of the
Right
top
next
third place teams make
Top
it through.
third place.
so
team
that's
makes it.
So
what
then
I said.
group-
Take it as it is.
Hey, Dom, can we do a separate bet? Can we do $20 that Finland beats Russia?
We don't bet money.
Okay,
here, bro,
can
man.
we do
We're a serious establishment here.
After hours, do it.
20 bitcoins?
We don't talk about this.
Okay, 20,
How about-
20 chickens?
How about 20 Scottish tenants?
Okay, but I'm just gonna say Finland is not losing to Russia,
Okay,
guaranteed.
but they might not lose. But
And
they,
Yuka Maslin, my buddy in Syracuse, guarantees that they're not losing to Russia.
And then we go Group C.
Group C. Okay. Oh, I'm going to go Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, North Macedonia.
Yeah, there you go, bro.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going. I'm gonna go Netherlands first, which I shouldn't. Now I'm gonna go Ukraine first, Netherlands second, North Macedonia third, Austria fourth.
That's actually not bad because
It is not bad.
Ukraine is dangerous.
Yep. And they
But-
got Shevchenko as the coach, and he's their national inspiration. I think, and he's willed them to get here.
I think I'm gonna go Netherlands, Ukraine, and I think Austria is like, I don't know. I think North Macedonia is gonna be like the surprise that finishes third that gets to the next round.
They're no
North,
Wales, though.
North Macedonia, then Austria.
I think North Macedonia is going to be the surprise that doesn't even score a goal.
Yeah,
Well, they beat Germany, bro.
I'm thinking, oh fuck, toss up with the Netherlands, Ukraine. Maybe the Ukraine, fuck. Netherlands first, Ukraine, and then I'll switch that North Macedonia.
Guys, I'm also
and then
engaged to
Austria,
Ukrainian. by the
Austria
way.
last.
You're like me.
Guys, my family's Ukrainian, north of Edmonton. Like, if I don't take Ukraine first, like, there's gonna be hell to pay here. I'm telling you that.
Well, you didn't.
No, I took
you
him
did?
first. Yeah.
I thought you were Indian.
Okay.
Well, no, but we're a month.
Group D, where the hottest rated, according to the odds, England's rated number 1.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
so
weird.
Here we go.
Oh man, they're gonna.
I'm going to go England,
Yes.
Croatia, and I'm going to switch Czech and then Scotland.
And then Scotland. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scotland hasn't been in a major tournament ever. I believe one of the main teams is not going to make it.
have their
But I just think that they've got a young team I'm going to go crazy here. Scotland's number 1. This is their tournament.
Scotland number 1.
Scotland's going to beat England. No, I'm going to tell you, this is their national pride.
That's a bold move,
Yep,
Tim.
no, I'm going fine. Scotland number 1. I'm going England number 2. Croatia went to the semifinals of the World Cup. They're spent. They're rebuilding.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
I'm going. I'm actually going to put Croatia at the bottom of the group. They're the Spain of this tournament. They're going to drop out.
Ooh,
I'm going Scotland, England, Czech Republic, which is going to be a tough team. Czech Republic could squeak in. And
I kind of agree with you. I think Croatia's still stronger than Czech, though.
But you know what? I'm just gonna.
But Tim.
I just feel that these teams always do this. They win.
Yeah.
They get to the semifinal. They
Totally.
hit, and they just are
They just
spent.
burn out. They
And the thing is, they got on a roll in that tournament. And you know how this guy's a little lucky, the right bounce.
Exactly, like
And,
Italy in
But
1990.
remember what
Never
we talked
seen
about
a fucking
before?
World Cup since.
Experience beats
That was
the-
2006.
So I'm just gonna throw it up. Scotland's in for passion. They're gonna win the group. England second, Czech Republic third, and Croatia's gonna crash
See,
out.
so we're all educated soccer players here, ex-soccer players, and we all have different answers. So it just shows you, man.
I don't even follow the year.
Well, you know
Okay,
what?
so-
You eat, we
I don't even
kill,
know
right?
what I'm talking about.
So I think that
Don't follow
in this
mine.
group, I think that Scotland will give England a problem just because it's like a derby, right? It's like we're fucking.
Yes.
I want to fuck you up, but I still think England's gonna win.
They don't have the team.
So I'm gonna put England number one.
But guys, Scottish football's all young players on the rise. They haven't been in a tournament for like 25 years.
Yeah, I'm still gonna put England number 1, Croatia number 2, Scotland number 3, Czech number 4.
And guys, I'm just gonna add to this. So Kevin
go with that,
McKenna.
man.
So guys, when we lived in Cutboost together, he had Kevin McKenna's a huge Glasgow Celtic fan, and he sing this song. For going, it's a grand old team to play for, and it's a grand old team to see. And if you know the history, it's enough to make your heart go. We don't care if we win, lose, or draw. What the hell do we care? But we always know that there's gonna be a show, and the Glasgow Celtic will be there. And so, guys, I lived with McKenna. We didn't have a lot of TV, but we sang that song every night. And I'm telling you, Scotland's gonna fucking win the group.
That's
They're
weird because
Catholic, that's why they cheer for the Celtics.
that's
Yeah.
weird because Jordan Robinson,
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Oh, I went to McKenna's house, and they're like huge Celtic fans." And I was like, "What? Really?"
Boston Celtics.
No, Celtics. And then he's like, "Oh, Mr. McKenna used to come and like he used to say, Celtic are the best team in the world." And then Jordan would be like, "The what? The world? The what? The world?"
No, it's much. But
So now we're gonna go to Group E, which is
Brian was,
Jimmy's team's in Group E here.
sorry about my song, man.
Sorry about-
Okay, bro. So who are you gonna pick, son?
Okay,
Or
let's
uncle.
go with.
He wants to say Poland.
No, you know what? Poland,
Kurwa.
they
have-
grow potatoes.
They have big depth, man. They got Zielinski. They got Lewandowski.
Yeah, I'm
they
gonna go Sweden, Poland, Spain, Slovakia.
Holy shit, that's bold, man.
Who's next?
I think Sweden.
It's you, bro.
I think Sweden's
Well,
got a
guys,
good team.
I mean, Lewandowski's unbelievable. We've seen him,
He is.
but
But
you know what?
he
But
needs
he's
a good team
he's
around
he's
him.
a mess. He's a messy.
Do you guys know this?
Lewandowski, and he's exhausted. Really, I love Lewandowski. I think he's unbelievable what he did this year with his goal. Unfortunately, he's exhausted. His team. He's the European Messi, right? And so I apologize to say this. I think Zlatan's on the bike right now in Italy.
I thought Zlatan wasn't
No,
gonna go.
no,
though,
but he
'cause
did.
he's
But
injured.
he said wait and watch. Zlatan's coming back. Sweden number 1, Spain 2, Poland 3rd, Slovakia 4th.
That's actually. I honestly, you guys are making me. This is a tough decision because I honestly thought Zlatan wasn't coming.
No, he's been on the bike. I'm sharing out freely information. He's on the bike, and he said, "Don't count me out."
And the only thing with Spain is they cut Ramos, huh? They cut their captain.
But he's injured.
Never coat that. Never.
No, but he didn't cut him because of he's injured.
Yeah, but you take your captain, bro. I don't know.
Oh, Ramos?
Yeah, he's not there.
He's injured though.
I think
It's a
he's
young
over the hill.
team.
I think he's
done.
I think he's tired.
Don't like him.
I honestly, it's not a negative to the team. He's tired. He's injured.
Yeah,
and
get
you know
rid of
what?
him.
And you know what? And he didn't bitch about it.
This is a tough group. I honestly
He-
think. So I'm gonna go Spain, Poland, Sweden, Slovakia.
You still have your faith in Spain? I don't think they're that good anymore.
I don't know, but Poland has a lot of depth too, man.
Yeah, I think Spain.
I think
Spain is
They'll
Spain.
still be good.
I think
They'll still be good.
Poland will be a strong third to get through to the next round.
But Poland has a lot of depth, man.
If Lewandowski gets on his bike.
Yeah.
But he has to have the service though too, right?
But there's a lot of players on, like, they have a great goalie that plays for Juventus. They got Milik as well.
I know they have a good
They
team.
have a good team, man. I don't know. It's Zelinski in the midfield is a great player for Napoli. I don't know. So what do you think? You said Spain won,
Spain, yeah, I think they're going to be strong still.
No.
and then who's number 2?
You know what? They have no Real Madrid players, which I'm really upset about. But
At
they'll still
all.
be good. They'll still be good, man.
And then who's number 2?
That's a toss-up. That's a tosser, man. I'm gonna go with Poland.
Poland, yeah.
The
Same,
Polacks,
like it.
and then Sweden, Slovakia.
so same as me. Yeah.
I'd like to see Poland pull
We
it
have the
off.
same picks a lot, huh?
No, but I'd like
Yeah,
to
we
see
do.
Poland. I'm not really
Okay.
against Poland. I like them.
Supposedly the group of death is Group F, but I still think
It
Group A
is,
is the
man.
group of death.
What a bad. What a muppet.
Okay, number 1.
Group G.
Go,
Group
son.
G is
Fuck.
This is tough, man. But you gotta be. Who you gonna pick is gonna make me. Anything can
an
happen
easy one.
because there could be a lot of ties, bro.
You know
But
what?
Hungary's gonna park the bus.
France brought back Benzema.
That's huge.
He's just a goal scorer. So you get him the ball inside the box, he's gonna score.
That's huge. Benzema's huge, man.
right. So
You gotta be in close, though. You gotta be in
I'm
close.
gonna go France, Portugal, Germany,
I like it.
Hungary.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, I like that. I mean, because Germany's been in trouble with their current coach.
They have.
I mean, he's on the out.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I mean, to
Germany?
bet against the Germans.
They're not the same. Yeah,
But it's still Germany,
I know.
man.
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
No, but I like what you're saying. And normally I'd say Portugal's going to either do one thing. They're going to win the group or be last.
Yeah.
It's either going to go one, or like it's either catastrophe.
I told Dom I'm like Portugal is using this Euro for the World Cup.
Yeah.
They have a great freaking look at all the
Yeah.
players they have, man.
And you know, France,
they,
guys,
they got to make
guys-
it all gel.
Hey guys,
though.
every time.
they-
I know,
they
but
don't-
that's,
but
that's what
I'm
I'm saying.
just
But
gonna
they're
say-
using,
they're
they're
using
using
this
this
tournaments, bro.
Hey,
They're
guys,
using this tournament for the World
Hey guys,
Cup, man.
and
They're gonna
France.
be good.
This is the problem with France. Anytime they win, they lose. Because
Yeah, but France
because
is
no,
strong,
so
man.
I'm just saying this right now. Look at the history in the last 20 years of France. Anytime they even have a good team, it becomes just a like.
That's every team. When they only won the World Cup, they never made.
But no, I
they
know about
never
that. But
made.
Didier Deschamps is the coach, and he's the glue. And that guy is good. So I'm going to go France first. I'm going to say I believe they're going to go World Cup, Euro. I think France win the whole thing.
And he used to be a great player.
yeah.
Great players. And you know what? He wins at every level. When he left Marseille, he went to Juventus. Juventus won the Champions League. Like every team he goes, and then he coaches them.
He actually took the champs.
Right.
The champs took Juventus and
Yeah.
did.
So
City
I'm
of
taking
Yeah.
France because of Didier Deschamps as the coach. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He unifies. The gentleman from
And then number two?
What's
France?
France. Where's the guy from Real Madrid come back though?
Benzema.
Benzema.
Yeah.
Didier Deschamps played with Zidane and won. It's cohesive. It's going to be beautiful. France first. I'm gonna go Germany second because any team that I think Portugal got a run. They're at home. I'm gonna go Hungary third. I'm going Portugal last. I think it's a disaster.
Wow.
I believe
Wow.
that Portugal hit their run at the right time, and you know what, guys, they won the champions. they won the final without Ronaldo.
I believe
Ronaldo's-
I believe I'm not going to send my kid to your freaking.
I'm
And
gonna
if
go.
they win, he's
I'm
going to send them right away. too.
Oh yeah.
I'm a put.
Hey, life's about winning and losing, guys. You got to win.
I just think France is strong. France number 1. Portugal, Germany's really, really tough. Like really tough to
That's what I
decide.
thought too.
And you got João Felix. You have Andre Silva. That's a young player for Portugal.
They've got tons of talent.
They have
man.
tons of talent.
Too much talent, man.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
that.
That's why I don't think they're going to be doing.
But they
World
always,
Cup,
even
World Cup.
even in qualifying, they always finish second, and they always get they never finish number 1 in the group. They lose random games, but I'm still gonna pick Portugal number 2, Germany number 3,
Wow.
and Hungary number 4.
Guys,
So you
what's
went the same as me.
The Euro is like almost sometimes better than the World Cup
Yeah,
because you have no shitty team.
and similar styles?
We actually have a pool going on if you guys want to join in later.
Yeah,
I'd love to. Is there betting involved? Or?
Yes.
Yeah,
Some money
$25.
involved.
Love to, yeah. Bitcoin.
Okay, fuck it. I will go with France.
So we all picked France.
Everyone picked France.
Everyone picked
Yeah.
France. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be different. I'll be Portugal, France, Germany, Hungary.
Okay. So the
That's
odds.
not bad. That's not bad.
So now we're gonna talk about the top 5 teams. So believe it or not, England is number 1 with 5-1. I don't know who makes these odds. Sorry, all my English friends.
it's
France.
because,
It's
because
based on
of
their
the-
last performance. The U20s were fucking
That,
good, man.
no, and it's because of the draw, like how they go after.
But
like,
England's always like the favorites. So England's 5-1, France is 5-1, Belgium 6-1, Germany 7-1, Spain 7-1, Portugal 8-1, Italy 11-1, Netherlands 12-1, Croatia 28-1, Denmark 28-1. So but these are my first 5 picks. So I posted on Facebook with all this stuff. I was gonna pick Belgium because I think that Belgium is like the Netherlands that never won. But Belgium,
they're the
the
same country.
I know. But the fact that Benzema's back, I honestly France is a great
difference.
team.
It makes a
It
difference.
makes a big difference when a guy is guaranteed to score a goal a game.
Yeah.
So I put France as number 1, Belgium number 2 now. I have to pick Italy as number 3. So Belgium, Italy.
Why do you have to pick them as number 3?
Okay, so Belgium, Italy,
Don't just because you're Italian doesn't mean that you have to.
but
pick
Belgium,
'em.
Italy.
But why do you say?
Okay, but
I have to?
Belgium, Italy.
Like,
Because
do
there's
you
a
really
lot.
believe that they're going to be 3,
Well,
or you're just
I
saying
think
that
that-
because you're Italian?
Okay, so I'll explain. So Belgium, Italy, and England have been the most consistent in qualifiers for World Cup, even in
Okay.
Nations League.
Yeah.
Italy hasn't lost in 2 years. The
Okay.
problem I think with Italy is we do not have a striker. We don't have that guy that's going to score goals.
But you never.
There's no power loss.
Yeah.
So when
you've
Italy won
always
the
been
World,
defensive.
but
Always.
when Italy won the World Cup in
It sucks.
2006, they scored 11 goals, which they're a defensive team. They scored 11 goals, and it was 9 different players. So I think that if Italy goes far, either Immobile is a great striker in Serie A,
Or he's not. He
but
shows
he's,
up,
but,
but he doesn't.
but he's not good
Yeah.
in for Italy. So either he just shows up, or you got Moses Keane, the black guy from PSG.
But he's not a game changer.
But I think that
He's not a game changer.
Chiesa is very underrated right now. So I think it's the goals have to come not from that main striker. They have to come from Chiesa. Insigne's got to be creative, and Berardi. These are strikers that are. And I think the midfield, Italy's midfield right now is maybe a lot of people don't pay attention to Serie A. But Barella, Jorginho,
I think
Berardi's hurt.
Insigne is your main player that has to like.
He has to
around.
move shit around. He
Yeah.
has to create because we always talked about creativity.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we'll all shoot ourselves watching Elf 3 games.
I think that Donnarumma's a good goalie. I think in the back it should be. I'll talk more about Italy because I got a lot of people that come that watch Italy.
No, and I love you guys. Don't.
I
shoot me.
think it should be Bastone and Bonucci and then you have Emerson on one side, which is anyway. Spinazzola is good, but midfield you have Sensi, Barella, Locatelli.
Bastoni is amazing.
I
He's
honestly,
quite large.
I honestly
plays all over
think
the
that
pitch.
Italy has a great midfield, but we just don't have that one thing. If it clicks, I think it's gonna happen. So they're number 3, and then I pick Portugal, and I think England I'll put as number 5. They're not gonna win it, but they're gonna finish in the top 4.
I want to say though, if
They're
Italy,
gonna get-
if Italy
they're gonna
does
get
well
through.
though, everyone in the world is going to be educated on who's good in Italy. Because I honestly, I love what you're saying. Don't have a clue, and I follow the game. I don't know who you're talking about. And you know what? If they,
There is good players
No, but
in Italy.
I'm just saying if they win,
Still a good
no,
league.
but I'm saying honestly I'm not against Italians. I'm with Italy. Let's go, Italy. Let's go. I don't know these guys. I'm just dreadful. I'm really scared that it's going to
Dude.
be park the bus and hope
No,
that we
they
score.
don't.
on a-
They don't
I
even
think
have
it's
that.
gonna
They
be-
don't even.
I think
but-
it's gonna be park the bus.
Dude, they don't even have the players to park the
Well,
bus. They don't have
no,
Carnavato.
but if you win, you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Bro, but
you're going to show me that I'm wrong.
in
I
2000,
can't wait.
in 2016 and 2012 and 2000, so Italy sucked in
Good
the last
debate.
World
It's a
Cup.
good debate.
But 2006, when Italy won the World Cup, everyone said park the
That's-
bus. Italy
did.
scored 11
That's
goals.
15 years ago.
But
15
listen.
years.
Italy scored 11 goals. 9 different players. When Spain won the World Cup, they scored 6 fucking
This is like
goals.
talking about the
They
Ecuadorians
barely-
last time they won the cup.
But listen,
but they didn't park the bus.
But everyone talks about Spain. They barely beat Chile. You guys know that. Chile,
I know
they
what you're
struggled.
saying, 11 different goal scorers. Yeah.
So it means that there's a lot of goals. When Italy in 2012 went to the final, they didn't park the bus, bro. In 2016, I don't think they had a good team at all. And Conte brought out Giaccherini, these guys, Pele. But they weren't defensive.
The Italian Pele, they said. I was
I'm going with Dom. Dom's passion.
No,
but
dude,
the world does not know the Italian players. What
Dude,
Dom's
we don't
passion
have
is,
that.
if
We
they-
don't have
if
that
they-
park
if
the
they
bus
win-
team anymore,
If
man.
they win, it's going to be an exciting. I read your passion. If they win, they're going to be great.
They're still
they're weaker.
a country that you have to like watch out for. They still respect.
I think they're the dark horse. They're the team that
But
you never know.
Is that because
I'm on their team.
I think
I'm
they're
saying, if you win,
I think they're weaker than the past teams.
If you
Of
win,
course,
you're
that
a
doesn't
genius.
mean you're not going to go farther. I just think though, consistency when it comes to points and qualifications, England, Belgium, and Italy have been the most consistent in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'm
England
just saying,
doesn't lose.
England on paper has had the best team for the last
Guys, but
20 years.
when-
But England has realized that the freaking game is played on the grass.
Guys, when Italy won the World
on.
Cup in '82, it's the same team that Dom's saying right now. They come out of nowhere with a bunch of guys who they
That's
just they
true,
click.
that's true, yeah.
And I like Dom's passion, and we're making fun, but I'm saying this genuinely.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, it's 15 years since you actually did something right, so it's about time Italy's going to click.
I honestly think we look at France. So France won the last World Cup. Amazing team.
They're
But this,
still all there. All
but
the guys,
this
all the
France
guys there.
team, this France team would never beat Brazil 2002.
No,
Never,
no.
no.
Yeah, but now you're
Never.
just comparing. You
But
can't
I'm
go
saying
back
the game
in
is
time.
changing.
I'm betting on Didier Deschamps with France. That guy wins. Guys, look at Didier Deschamps.
No,
Everything
France
he
is
does.
good.
I'm gonna ask. It was
I said France number 1, Belgium number
so France
2.
is gonna win it.
If I had to pick the top 5 teams to win it,
Oh,
and I picked France. But in the end, if France and Belgium and Italy all win their groups, they're going to meet in the
They're gonna meet
semifinals.
each other,
They're going to
yeah,
meet
yeah.
each other.
Yeah, Belgium's
But in
gonna
the end, I think that if Italy can come out and they end up beating Belgium, now they have confidence.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's so France, Belgium, or Italy. One of those teams will be in the final
okay, go
because the
Nick.
way the groups are. So
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Belgium on top. Belgium.
you know, you got Lukaku, Mertens, De Bruyne. Good team, man.
No,
Belgium, maybe
no, not
France, Portugal, England, Italy.
Okay, that's actually not bad, yeah.
just because you put Italy in there, eh?
No, but England has to be there, even though they're not going to win. They're in the top 5, but I just don't see England winning. It's always been there, but they're just
They never
don't-
do. They never
They
do.
never do. But
Okay,
maybe
go
it's
ahead, Tim. Your top 5.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go France, Belgium, Sweden, Italy, and my dark horse is Scotland.
Scotland.
I'm sticking with my dark
Wow.
horse.
I think that whoever finishes, because I think, do you think, so if you honestly believe France is going to win their group and Belgium is going to win their group, you guys believe that, right?
Yes.
So if those teams win their groups,
But they're not going to play each other because when you finish 1-1, you don't
no,
play
but
each
what,
other.
what I looked, I put it all on the thing. And so if France, they won't play each other until the semifinals.
Yeah, the semis. Yeah.
But if Italy wins their group, Italy will play Belgium quarterfinals. No
Guys,
matter what.
So here are my picks. France. You're not going to be my second pick. England.
Is second or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
France, England.
But you would never bet money England winning the whole thing.
No.
You'll just put them as second.
Yeah, I'll put them a second.
Yeah, it's
I would never put my.
So France, England. I have to take Italy out of that group. So France, England, Italy, Netherlands, and then Belgium.
that's good, yeah. Netherlands, yeah.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
picked Netherlands. Nobody else has. That's good.
You know?
From Tottenham. What was his name?
Mora,
Lucas?
Mora, isn't it?
Mora, right? He scores like 3 goals or 2 goals.
Yeah, and then
And then you go to the final and you don't play that guy? What the fuck does a player have to do to get on the field sometimes with coaches, man?
But always,
Like, and Pochettino was like a good coach. Everyone liked him. But what do you do as a player? What did that guy think? He's like, I'm not playing the final.
there though.
I mean, there's coaches who are absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It's a power trip. They don't love the game. They don't love the players. It's about them.
Oh, yeah. There's
And,
a lot of
and,
coaches
you
like
asked a
that.
great Dom. Like when I was coming on this, you played with my brother, and you were a dominant player. But you had like Dom's right now. You smile. You played with cheekiness. That's soccer.
Yeah.
It's about being cunning, cheeky, creative. You still are in your
I
own.
think I just, when I celebrated, I wasn't being cocky. I think I was just fucking, I love the game. I was passionate.
The
Like,
thing
it felt
is,
so good.
a lot of these coaches are ex-players for a lot of the sports, right? Like football, basketball, baseball, soccer. You know, they're all ex-players.
And we're gonna get into this I'm gonna talk about a little bit about players where coaches like Roberto Baggio, the shit that he went through. It's just like, to me, some shit with coaches. Like, I remember there were some coaches that would think I wasn't even good enough to be on the field. And then there were some coaches that would treat me like, oh my God, you're the star player. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I get it because everyone has a different perception.
Exactly.
But some coaches can
exactly what
ruin
it is.
players. And I hope coaches, when I was like 9, they're like, you're never going to grow. You're small. Fuck, man. And then I did it. I made the Alberta team. I played at a high level in Calgary. I went to Germany. Like, I was young. It was fun. So don't let just one coach that cuts you doesn't mean shit, man. Like,
No, it doesn't. Well, that's what happened to me. To be honest with you, like the national coach for the U23 team, we did a north and south, like what Nick was talking about for Alberta, and the national coach Bruce Twomley, freaking great coach, one of the best coaches I've ever had. He came down to Alberta to look at a couple of older players. I've always played on the Alberta team, and I was always a year younger than everybody else. He went to look at a couple of other players, and then when he left there, I was the only guy that went, because like it just happens that way, right? Like if somehow it's meant to be, or whatever. Or like you said, one coach sees one thing in you, another coach sees another thing in you. You know, a lot of coaches thought, good player, great skill, like good mind, and all that stuff, but
too
small,
probably. Yep,
too
yep.
small. This guy thought.
But look at the
Small.
best players in history.
Yeah, this guy was like too small. He's like, you're low to the ground, you're fast, you go. He's saying all this stuff, and I was like,
coaches
yeah,
like that, some don't.
yeah.
I
You know,
think
and
Owen
it
got cut
just
from the
Yeah.
Canada team because they said he was too small, and then he goes and wins the Champions Leagues and things.
How do you get cut? How do you get cut from exactly? And this is my problem with Canadian soccer. Not anymore, because it's getting a lot better, right? But back then, how do you get cut from the Canadian team and then go to Germany and make one of the best clubs in the world?
So this is true. It's not like just a story that he got cut. He actually got cut.
That's just what I heard.
Well, I was chosen over him, guys. I mean, I was assistant. I was the only guy from Alberta. We won the national championship in '95 for the All Stars, and we went to the trials. And I played exceptionally well. And I'm not going to bow down on that with Owen or and Simon was there as well. Simon Codner, both players.
So it might have been a thing. It might have been he might have been a year or two younger, and they said, "Oh, we'll give him a year to mature."
I know the coach.
Tim back in the day, Tim was awesome.
No, I know Tim was a great player.
The thing is, it's not about me making it. We won the national championship. One guy from Alberta made it, and the issue is, guys, Alberta soccer had taken the money that was allocated to players to play on the national team, and they used it for other issues. Okay, that's a fact. Because I had to live with Tony Taylor, the head coach, because Alberta didn't have enough money to pay for me to be billeted. Why is a team that won the national championship the first time in maybe I think it was 14 years, or Bert Kaiser was the last Alberta guy.
Yeah, he was a few years before me.
Right,
great player as well.
But the thing is that the real issue is not Owen being cut. I know at that trial I played exceptionally well and earned it, but it doesn't mean that Owen or Simon played exceptionally well too. The real issue there, guys, is the system of the game, and it still is right now. I mean, what is Alberta Soccer and CMSA doing to help young players make a national team? Because the same stuff is going on right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And what I'm saying, Jimmy, is that while I'm having a podcast, this is the first time. Yes, it's a bit risky to say, but it's not, because it's the real deal. It's the right thing. Yeah. What is Alberta Soccer doesn't? They don't have national championships anymore. They don't have all-star teams anymore.
They don't have the Alberta team.
It's all gone.
So
what is Alberta? But the thing is, this is that, guys, it affected. So the thing that's sad is that a guy like Owen Hargreaves and Simon, who absolutely, it's not. Yes, I had a great trial, and we can. But that's not the debate. The debate is, why did a national championship team? And by the way, Kevin McKenna's on that team. Kevin McKenna's in the National Hall of Fame. He captained Canada. He played for 80 games. Right. How can we have Owen Hargreaves, Simon Codner, Tim Taylor, Kevin McKenna, plus other guys? I mean, Rob Katana, who's our striker, went and got a full ride with me with the team that Nicky and I played at Hartwood College. So how does a national championship team, guys, not get more than one guy? So it's not about me. It's about the real question
yeah.
that continues right now is, what are we funding with Canadian soccer? What are we funding with Alberta soccer? And what are we funding with Calgary soccer?
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, all of us, and don't get me wrong, maybe I'm viewed as maybe the guy who got the benefit, but I got the benefit because of all the guys who laid the foundation, right? And the thing is that what we have to try, and same with Dom, you know, I'm still trying, we're all trying to make the game better, but there's people involved in the game right now who aren't.
Right.
And we're wondering, and guess what? And we all know money makes the world go around. Where is that money going, and why would they get rid of the All-Star competition, which creates you guys have both talked without saying North-South games.
Yeah.
Playing in Red Deer.
Right. Yeah.
And you had to get out of that.
Yeah.
With Alberta team.
Yeah.
That was a pivot. Those
So
games.
they don't have that anymore?
No.
I don't even think they have the Alberta
They
team.
don't have the Alberta team.
No.
So there's
The
no like
Alberta team
under
was
there's
like
no
my
under
biggest
there's no under
accomplishment,
14,
you know, like-
15 Alberta teams that
So-
play against other provincial
Because now it's
teams?
all clubs. So now that we're going to get into this next question,
But
the youth soccer before and now is like, so youth soccer, we had 5 clubs, and I was an import my whole life. I never played for Eastside. I just played for Blizzards, and even at times I was properties, and I went to Tri West even before it was zones, right? It was after,
And I played for Tri-West Wedway.
and then I played Tri West. Literally, we won
the small. It's the worst
I
name
remember
ever.
it's
From
It's from
Chinook area, right?
Glenmore, yeah,
Yeah.
Glenmorgan.
Me and
Chinook.
Paul Bassi, which played on the Alberta team, we always played. We were Eastside players, property players.
It's
We
rich
went to
now,
Tri
but it used to
West.
be poor.
We went
It
to
wasn't
Tri
rich.
West.
It wasn't
Oh, yeah.
rich then. It was poor.
We went to Blizzards, and we were always together. And I don't know why we went to Tri West. At the time, I bet you on that Tri West team, there was probably 4 Alberta players in this little, maybe 5 or 6 because of me and Paul after, right? But do you think, so back then my dad coached a lot. There was other coaches that coached me. But if they were new, if they had a technical brain and they were good they loved it, did they care about players more than what it's now? Is now it's about money, money, money. If my son plays, now my son's 1 year old, so in 10 years he wants to play, he's the best, one of the best players in the city or not. Even say he is, now he has to pay to be there, just to be on that club. Where before, when I wanted to, like I'm in between you guys, I'm a little, so I could have went to Thomas's academy, which was separate. So that was separate money that my parents put away that I could train extra. Why is it that if I play for a club and this club is supposed to be so good, now it's all about money? So I know it's a business, but in Europe it's not like that. You don't pay to play for these clubs, do you? If you're good, they want to develop you. Maybe
You don't pay to play in Europe. You don't pay to play in South America.
Like I said, 3 years ago.
But it's different though. Like you don't. It's so. I'm going back to hockey again because we're in North America, and North America is like a hockey-based thing. Like you don't pay to work your way up through juniors in hockey and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So South America, Europe, you're working your way up. If you're good, the teams are gonna draft you whatever it is, like they do here in hockey, right? So soccer here is not the same as it is in Europe. There is no, like, we're starting to get MLS and all that stuff involved now, but there is no teams that can say that guy's a good talent. Let's take him and we'll walk him through our system.
It's getting a little better, I think, with MLS. No?
It's getting there. Maybe, I don't know.
So I was telling him earlier. So I played for El Salvador, won at EMFC. Great club. It's cheaper to play for a lot of players. I heard. I don't know the youth system anymore. That's why I played with El Salvador in Division 3 in men's league, and we finished second place or third place or something like that. But I remember at the time that EMFC's 16-year-olds went to nationals. They were the best team. So these kids would come play up with us in Division 3 men's. And I'm like, these guys are okay. Like, I don't want to be an asshole, but like, when you guys were 16, you wouldn't be playing up in Div 3 men's.
No.
You would be playing major. So is the system that all these guys are paying for? I'm not attacking all these clubs. Like, EMFC, well done. But you guys were the best team in the city, and your players come and play Div 3, and they're still... Is the system better? I don't know. In the end... I don't know. Like,
It's hard to say. The thing is I think if you've got the skill, you've got the passion for the game, it doesn't matter what kind of training. It does matter.
Training.
Yeah, you're gonna do your own training. If you get the opportunity, you're gonna make the best out of it, right? But now, all these kids are going through like, oh, you have to go to academy. You have to go like. And I think it's like way too much. Like by the time you reach 16, you're going to be tired. You're going to be dead.
Sorry.
Okay. So you learned from the community. You could say you learned from the Chilean community, but playing with Eastside. So you look at guys like Nico Gonzalez, like all these the young Chilean guys. You had Marco Aravena at the time. So you guys would look up, like, even my dad had Interclub. He started a team in Div 2 men's. They went up to Premier. And I would go to those practices. And I think that developed me as a player more than anything else, is just seeing these older guys. And like I said earlier, if you're 14 and you're good enough, you should be able to play major men's. There shouldn't be an age limit.
Well, what you're saying right now, it's about competition, guys. And so what we just discussed is
Yeah.
Jimmy got recruited by Bruce Twomley because he played the North-South game. Nicky Reyes got recruited because he played the North-South game. I played North-South. We don't have that anymore. Competition is the key. Play, and
Totally.
you know they have
Even in business.
And
Even
the
in
thing
business.
is this, guys, you can train and train and train. But if you don't know how to play a game to win,
Exactly.
against and under pressure, and guess what? You have to learn to lose to win. And guess what, guys? What I believe what is wrong, Doc, is that not the system, not the training. It's they're not playing enough high competitive
So
games,
that makes sense.
and the thing is they're not playing high competitive games against the best players at all the
Exactly.
time. And so what we're
And you can train all you want.
So it's not the system is wrong right now. What is wrong with
We
the
need
system?
more games.
No, competitive, high level games where you don't get a badge. You like at the end of the day, I'm a big believer. You learn to play the game by trying to win. So you guess what? I want to win, so I'm going to go to sleep tomorrow. I'm not going to drink beer.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to taper in the week for the match. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to tweak it. And you know, Nicky and I finished third in the national championship. And then Nicky goes on and plays in 4 or 5 camps. But Nicky wouldn't have been seen had the North-South game not occurred. Alberta Soccer and Cane Soccer has now given away. Like for example, and I'll say this.
The competitive
Last year I said this when we and I
And that's a
appreciate
love you
and
have.
I appreciate you guys wearing the starting 11 HC. Last year the 7 guys I took to Germany played more competitive matches in 2 months than they played in the CPL Island Games.
So-
So at the end of the day, like this year they're going to play 28 matches, guys, in Canada, right? Well, if you're leaving England or Brazil to come play in Canada, in Europe they're playing 60, 70 matches.
Yeah.
So how
That's where you learn the game,
that's
is when
where
you play the games.
on the field.
Of course.
Not by
And so to
doing
answer your question,
Game
I-
fitness is way different than training.
so
Game fitness.
where I'm going is they're not playing enough competitive matches under pressure, and it counts.
But it's even as a player, when you're young, at the end of the practice, what are you waiting for? Scrimmage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So in the end, as a player, you want to do what you love. So fucking play the game. Let them play. Let them. It makes 100% sense. Like they gotta. What scares me is, like we said, is they're pushing these guys so much that it's okay to push them, but you gotta keep that love and
But they're not
passion.
playing matches. They're just
Yeah.
all that's happening.
And let them have that freedom on the ball,
We're taking
man.
away the boundaries. It's a couple groups that play against each other, and guess what? It becomes redundant because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, COVID fucked up everything.
But you know what, like-
so the thing that Dom was saying about those 16-year-olds playing Div 3 men's, it's probably because that team, the EMFC, let's just say, or whatever it was, didn't have a team in Major League. So let's just say they
I
had
know,
a
but
team
they
in
should have
Major
killed
League.
it in Div 3. They shouldn't have been struggling. Like they weren't
Yeah.
struggling. They were just. We actually did better when
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Toledo
you
were
were-
playing.
If you're
You're
an
saying they were
elite,
struggling,
if you're an
yeah.
elite under 16 that's going to go
Dude, Croatia won the-
play for Canada or Europe, like Nicky and Jimmy or myself or
Croatia
yourself,
won
is
the
going to
league,
be
so-
is going to be running the midfield in Div 3. You're going to score 5
Yeah,
goals.
Croatia won the league that year, and the last game we didn't beat them. But in the last game, none of these young kids were playing with us anymore. So it's like literally me and Polito sharing the up front. And I'm like, Polito's already over 35. We had Vladdy in the back. Lewis was playing. Everyone was over 35. And we
But
played
also,
better than when we had the
but listen,
16ers.
also you just named a whole bunch of players that I know that like are experienced.
Yes.
So you don't have to be an amazing player to play against these 17 years old, 16-year-old guys. As long as you're experienced, you know what you're doing. You're probably going to maybe if they're not that good, you're probably going to go do circles around them, right?
But what's experience is what's confidence is playing that competent. The more
No,
competitive games you have,
of
like we
course,
said,
yeah, of
the more
course, yeah,
confidence you
of
have. If I
course.
go play,
Not
if
you,
you had
Dom.
to, if you had to pick the best players of all time and put them in order, and then you can put some honorable mentions. So who wants to start with this? Because I want to see who you guys say.
Let's start oldest.
Oldest.
Me?
Okay, best player, number 1.
This is really tough for me
It's
because
tough,
I think just because of the generation,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that Maradona is like the best player, and like don't get me wrong, he's
Yeah.
amazing. But for me, because I'm older and I've seen I saw tapes of him before even Maradona and things like that. Pele, he's the one that like he won a World Cup at 17 years old. If
Yeah.
it wasn't for him, Brazil wouldn't even won that World Cup at 17 years old. This guy could jump to the moon, hit a ball like he was hitting like a free kick strike.
And then who's your number 2 then?
My number 2 would be obviously Maradona.
And then your number 3?
My number 3, that's a tough one,
So
man.
yeah, we'll say all our numbers, then we'll kind of talk
That's
about
a
it.
tough one.
There's so many great players,
Wow,
man. So many
yeah.
different players.
Yeah, I think I'd
You don't want to say. Okay.
no, I know I will. I'll just put myself there.
Not Zamorano?
No.
I thought Zamorano would be number 1. I mean, come on.
Next.
I mean,
Okay, Timmy.
No.
no discussion. I mean, but Pele was before my time.
Yeah.
So I mean, Diego Armando Maradona for me is the guy
Number one.
that inspired me.
And
I
then
love
number
it.
two?
That's because that's who you guys
Yeah.
saw, right?
Yeah. And you're gonna laugh for this, not laugh, but a guy. So lucky in 1994, we went up to watch the Brazil-Canada game when they played an exhibition,
Yeah.
the last game, and we stayed. Fortunately, my family.
So number 2 is Romario or what?
Romario, and I loved him because he had the similar. He had an attacking style that was very unique, like Maradona's play in midfield, and just something, just a stutter step the way and also he didn't score a lot of goals with power. Like he was very deceptive in how he just could see how he would score the goal.
And
number 3 was my favorite player growing up, Paul Gascoigne. But that doesn't mean that he's the best player. The third
your
best.
favorite.
you just said I could say my favorite players growing up, but I'm just saying what the greatest of all
I
time.
love Gascoigne.
but for me,
5 or 3.
3, whatever. You could say 3, and then we'll do honorable
No, but
mentions after.
for me, those are the 3 players that I felt were the most instrumental in my life. I love
Yeah,
watching.
so you're not talking in all.
No,
years,
I
you're
am,
saying
but
your life.
I'm saying I'm just judging it by just I'm not fighting about if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Just for the
we're
guys
gonna
who
fight, bro, now.
but also, and I watch Baggio, of course, magical. I mean, the same gift that Maradona, that
So many great players.
that-
There's so many, man.
But all the great players,
Platini,
have
Zidane,
but the
Cryuff,
thing is, they have a style.
Basten.
I mean, they have a style that they play the game in.
But I think it
As
also
you-
depends what style you play. Like for
Yeah.
example, you're
Yeah.
you're a
Right.
striker or a forward. So
Midfielder.
you midfielder. You may like all those
Right.
guys, right? Like if I'm a defender, I may
Correct.
like
Correct.
the defenders, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're a bit of a plumber. I don't know who you like.
Well, he's Italian, so we know. Is
Dino- is Dino
Zoff number 1 or?
And we'll go to Nick now.
Great
I'll go
player.
say
Zola.
Great player.
No, but great, but similar to what you're saying.
So Nicky, this is on the spot because he never got to think about this question.
No, well, I think like I watched tapes of Pele and Maradona too, and they're like, you're like, holy shit, those guys are awesome, right? But then you like, obviously Messi, because if Messi goes up against them, and at this time, and they're going to 1-on-1, Messi's going to destroy them, man, just because of how he has the skill, he has everything that you need, he has the fitness.
Okay.
So I say Messi number 1.
Number 2.
Number 2, then you have Pele and Maradona, of course. But then under them as well, then you fall into the categories of Ronaldo from Brazil.
Oh,
Yes,
amazing.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Ronaldinho, and
Yeah.
then you have
Ronaldinho's amazing.
Iniesta and Zidane are my picks.
Zidane, Platini, but I watched videos of Platini. the
What
other
about
day.
don't, dude? I'd seen him at his prime when he used to wear his socks down here with his no shin pads.
Platini?
Yeah.
But then Portugal had Eusebio.
But guys,
But because back then you never had to wear shirt pads, and this guy right here used to wear his socks down here, no shin pads, nothing. Guys would come at him flying.
Oh,
He'd
yeah.
just go right
Dude,
through him.
defenders
I don't
were
know-
assholes back
Yeah,
then, man.
I don't
They
know
wouldn't-
how.
So,
Let me guess, Baggio.
In your
Baggio
time, are you gonna
and
go in your
Baggio.
time? Or are you gonna go back in
no,
time?
I'm gonna. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say that.
Don't go back.
so
in
let's
time.
do this.
No.
You get to 3 Italian players and 3 other
No,
ones.
fuck. There's a lot of Italian players, but I think there's so many Italian players from number 10 to 50 that are amazing. There's
yeah.
so many good Italian players, but the top 10, I don't know. So in the end, I think that Maradona is number 1 because he created scoring opportunities for himself and other players out of nothing. If Maradona's on the field, he is the protagonist of the game. Like, he is the player. He's gonna win you games. Like, dude, he went-
So is Pele though. Pele
But I
got
don't know, I didn't see enough footage, though. I
Pele
didn't see
got
enough footage.
Pele
But he
got.
played for the Brazil 70 team. They say was the best team ever.
Is he gonna win
In
you games in-
62, Brazil won the World Cup in 62. Pele played one game. I'm not putting him down.
Yes, because he got injured.
He got hurt.
Because you know why?
They kicked-
Because yes, exactly. Because they knew that
Sweden, I think.
they knew
No,
that this is the guy that we have to take
Okay.
out, and that's why.
So, but if Maradona in '78, they never took him. They won the World Cup. He was 17.
Yeah.
If they would have took him, he would have another World
Yes,
Cup.
he would have.
Would he have not?
Yeah.
Let's put Messi into Maradona's era.
They didn't take him in '78 though,
this is-
because the players in '78 didn't want him on a team.
Dude,
They were
Maradona's
scared.
career was like fucking 9 years long with all the bullshit he had. In the end, for me, if anyone is influential on the field, Messi is my number 2. But the reason why Messi's not number 1 is because Messi's not going to change the game. Messi's amazing. Like when I watch him, the videos, but Maradona is a leader. He's a shitty leader off the field.
Maradona
on the field,
He
man.
did coach the quarterfinals.
So I put Pele as number 3 because I didn't see enough. But I put Maradona. Then Messi is just.
You're not saying gas.
Followed him
I mean,
around
think
so
about
much.
George Best. I watch all these great videos lately.
Bro,
you
yeah,
know,
he was
George.
forward.
I mean, but
He
again,
was great.
I never.
We're gonna get into that
I'm
now.
not being trying to be rude because a lot of our elder people that I love and would watch this. I mean, I've never seen them play, but of course, you know they're great. And also, look at the
was.
pitches they played on.
Yeah.
The balls and the pitches
Yeah,
those
of
guys
course,
played
man.
on
Yeah, that's true.
was
yeah.
just a disaster.
But that's just the evolving of the game,
think
though.
about
They like you said, they're the ones
94
that made the way for these other
In
guys,
'94,
right?
Maradona got kicked out of the World Cup. He was injured.
Yeah.
And then it was because of some veteran bullshit. He's saying that it was. No, it wasn't cocaine. It was actually a veteran. They didn't. And there was. You can look it up.
That
And
World
was-
Cup though was like Ben Johnson getting kicked out. I was crying.
man, like-
That was the worst
He-
between
he
him
played
and Ben
2
Johnson. I mean, I just want to.
Ben Johnson was like, "What stereos? I didn't take no stereos."
No, he's only to nurse his hand, smiling as he goes, right?
But think about it, bro. He played 2 games.
I took no
He
stereos.
touch me
assisted
again.
both goals against Nigeria. 2 assists, bro. And he scored the goal against Greece. Like,
Yeah, with the-
dude, in the end of the day, Maradona would change any game. He went to fucking Naples, Italy, bro, man.
I know.
I think he had like the best career in Napoli. Obviously,
Of course.
He
But
did.
He did.
He wanted to leave. The reason why he couldn't leave because the president would have got shot and killed. You don't sell.
Well, what's it
Maradona,
called? Not
man.
La Cosa Nostra. What's there? What's the
La
name?
Gomorra,
La
but-
Gomorra, yeah.
but you don't sell
Say it
the-
again, though. It sounds great.
You don't sell the best player that is won everything for you because the
but
guy
he-
doesn't want to handle the stress. Of
He had the best career there, and he had one of the best World Cups ever with a hand
so
of God.
why did Pele? Well, the hand of God, but he scored that amazing goal against England. That
Oh
was
yeah,
probably
of
the best
course,
player.
yeah.
So
the best
why?
goal in the world.
A lot of people say Pele didn't leave Brazil because he was like a Brazilian gem. They didn't want him to leave. But then they say in those
He
times
did
that
leave.
He went to New York. He never
Yeah.
went to Europe. Never went to Europe. But Di Stefano from Argentina went to Madrid
Because
Di Stefano was the
he was getting paid the same amount of money in Brazil that he would have gotten at.
I just don't see enough
But
video.
no, but
But-
Pele's like Gretzky going to.
But you got to understand, at that time, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, like they were getting paid the same amount of money in South America as they were in. It wasn't that big of a business.
Yeah, I
I
guess,
think
I
Pele made it a business, man.
No, I mean, I
He's
think
the one that made a business out of that.
the
because
MLS
they
is there.
wanted-
The World Cups there. Why the World Cups for 2026 is because Pele.
Yeah.
And why I would
Yeah.
what I would argue, because again it's not about playing. Maradona didn't open up the chat. If I were to debate and say Pele's number 1, I'd say look at the MLS, look at America. They're going to win a World Cup, guaranteed. They've got the cultures. They've got and no, I believe that. I mean, there's no
Maybe
guarantee.
one day,
It's so hard to win a World Cup. But where I'm going with it,
they've been saying that for ages.
no, but the thing is, he opened up a league that never would have existed had he not gone there. Stefano could have gone to the U.S. would never have done.
Yeah.
And it's like Gretzky, Gordie Howe.
But even Pele, they said he scored all these goals. A lot of them are exhibition games, and they counted them as goals.
Aw.
Right? I'm not putting him down. Like literally,
Well, it's like watching a Saudi Arabia guy who has
I
the
don't
most
know,
caps
dude,
and he played
this
250
guy
times.
To me was like maybe it wasn't
because
even
he
my
played
time.
you
guys,
You would
exactly.
say the
You
same
guys-
time he did that.
You guys never saw like him play or
But
whatever.
this was
you know,
before
like-
my
I
time.
did. No, we watched it with my dad.
I was 9
On a
years
little-
old when
little-
he stopped playing.
But what if he didn't do that shit in Napoli? What if he did it in
But I wasn't
Germany?
But I wasn't.
He'd still be. He would.
But
Still,
bro,
he was
No,
gonna-
but-
he-
but
back
would he be
then-
on Don's
What
top
people
five?
don't know,
but
what
bro,
people
bro.
don't know before Napoli,
Say
he
Young
was
was
gonna,
the best league
No,
back
he
then.
was going to
That's
go
why
to
he was
Bayern
there.
Munich. But people don't know is that Diego Maradona after '86, Beckenbauer was going to sign him to Bayern.
Beckenbauer was fucking.
And
amazing.
what people don't know is he was that close to going to Bayern, and he chose Napoli.
more money.
No, it's not even just about Italian soccer. I don't know, like Maradona
It's
was
great
just
pizza,
like,
though, right?
In the end of the day,
Not as
man,
good as SS
no, but
106.
No, I'm just
in the
saying.
end of the day,
I think
like,
that's why
dude,
you
when
have
you watch him play, when you do that Maradona turn, like just like Cryuff invented like the one turn.
Yeah. Cruyff turn.
Maradona was just fucking, I don't know.
I
Like,
think that's why you have a soft swap for him, though. But if, like, let's say Messi, fucking,
I feel that
Put him
Messi's
in
not
that
a
era.
leader enough. Messi's not a leader enough.
No.
That's
Messi-
why
He needs a
the best.
system. He needs a system.
If
around.
Messi
You guys,
built it
if
up
you
in
guys watch enough
Barcelona.
of Pele, he was a freaking in the air. Nobody could beat him. Like when he jumped up and he would hit a ball, it'd be like a shot. Like he would take a shot.
But people say Ronaldo has like his the new Ronaldo.
I know, but he does.
he has a good
But
jump, right?
Pele had the same thing. Pele was the first guy that started like bending balls around the wall.
Innovated the game.
But
Open the
dude,
game up.
even Platini's free kicks I've seen, man.
But let's be honest with you
Oh,
guys.
there's a lot of guys that
Zidane.
Guys, what Messi's done on a Europe. I mean,
you can't
I mean,
touch the guy.
when
the
you
problem is, I think Messi, if he leaves Barcelona and wins somewhere else,
he's going to
then-
destroy it. He'll destroy it. He goes to England, he's going to kill
But
it.
the thing is, though,
But
like,
this is
why
why
would-
this is
with
why I say
Argentina,
why-
you
I don't
would
think he
never
will.
get to
No,
that level.
No, I would love so Cristiano Ronaldo, who I do not believe is the best player of all time,
he
but
built
but
that.
I would
He
say
built
he's
that. He
played in
worked
4
hard.
leagues.
and he's won.
He's
everything.
won, and he's won it.
He's a box
but
player.
no, but
I would
but,
take him
but,
on my team anytime.
But
course.
Cristiano Ronaldo,
100%.
which none of us have named, he's played in England, played in Portugal, played in Spain, played in Italy. He's won at every level.
Dude, he's
and
amazing.
where I'd say Messi.
But he's a box player. He's that guy that you want to score. That, like, you know what I mean?
But he's done it.
Like
he's
we
done
said
it in,
before, that one guy that
but
can
But
Four
Ronaldo
dis-
used to score goals 30 yards out.
Guys,
before,
4
now he doesn't do
distinctive
that.
leagues.
But
Messi, I just want to see Messi play 1 year for Man City. Just
Not
show.
even Man- Go to Napoli. Go to Napoli. Win Serie A next year, man. It's not gonna happen.
No,
But after you go to Colo Colo,
No.
They might lose to fucking Wanderers.
Maradona ate every night before a game.
Diego Maradona fucking didn't eat pizza, man. He was high. He was a horrible person, man. He was the best fucking player, but off the field, he's a guy you want on the field. Off the field, you're like, get away from me, man. Don't tweet your
Well, maybe
worst
one,
Donald Trump, bro.
like maybe one night.
have
like
you seen
one
him
night,
coach? Have
one
you
night
seen
if
him
he's
coach in
paid.
Mexico? Have you seen that documentary?
Yes. What a
That
disaster!
one he-
He's a legend. He's a
That's
legend,
his
man.
assistant coach that does everything. He's
But
just
can you
there.
imagine if he was here tonight? One night would have been a fun night.
You know
guys.
what's fucked up? Did you guys see?
He'd be the
The,
best.
the medical staff that was
Yes.
taking care of him is charged now.
Murder.
For murder. They killed him. The guy should have died fucking 30 years ago. When he died, I had COVID. Listen to this. I had COVID. I was at home. And Maradona dies. I'm like, is this the fucking COVID? Or is this real life? Everyone's like, how sad are you? You love Maradona. I'm like, dude, he made it 10 years longer than I thought he would. Man.
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
So fuck. I don't know. Now that we're talking about players and we're getting deeper, like, who do you think are the players that had so much fucking potential? Jimmy Reyes, calm down. It was you. You had all that potential.
no, how was it, me?
Just lathering up there, Jimmy. I could hear
So,
you over here. Eh?
Who are all the players that had all the potential? So I'll go first. So the players that I think had amazing potential and never got to fulfill
Like in
their whole
world
career.
football or Europe?
In
or
world,
where-
they
where
never
from?
got to fulfill their whole career. Was Van Basten, 28 years old. The guy was an amazing striker. 28 had to stop playing.
Yeah.
Phenomenon Ronaldo scored
In Brazil.
the 2 Brazilian Ronaldo.
Dude, that guy won World Cups, man.
But he didn't have his full. Dude, he had so many knee surgeries. Could you imagine
did.
with how much better he would have
Oh,
been?
yeah, of course, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't their all-time potential. Maradona, to me, was another one because injury with Barcelona, all this drug shit. He never got to play his full career, man.
He had a good career.
He did.
He, you know what? His brilliance.
Another guy for me is Garincha. Fucking,
Yeah.
he was a big dude. The guy had one leg.
Well, you
longer
couldn't
than the
remember
other.
Pele. How you remember Garincha?
Because Garincha, I feel bad for the
Like,
guy.
where did you bring that one up?
I know, yeah.
Like, Garincha.
He's like older than Pele.
Yeah, because Pele never had I think Pele had the potential that he could have had. I don't think he could have been.
Were you watching like a specific Garincha highlight video? Or?
Have you guys seen that? Like Brazil had a lot of good players, but Garincha,
I've seen that, yeah.
Garincha has one leg longer than the other,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
Say it again.
and dude, he was an alcoholic, man. George Best, another problem with alcohol. man.
Alcoholic.
Right.
But again, George Best is a Diego Maradona.
Okay, listen, and then
Like,
my biggest
You
thing,
can't count those two guys together.
my thing is, so Baggio, I watched the movie today.
That's a hard
I knew he
question.
had knee injuries, but at 17 years old, he went to Fiorentina from Serie C, and before he got there, he tore his meniscus.
That's Serie C for you.
But remember, he also had Arrigo Sacchi as his head. His
Oh,
national
dude.
coach.
So, anyways, he goes, and he's at 17 years old. He thinks his career is done. His knee's done. He doesn't play a season. Plays for Fiorentina. Plays for the national team. Goes to the '94 World Cup. Saki didn't even want to fucking play him. I think he did wicked. He missed a penalty shot, whatever.
But this goes back to coaches that are retarded.
Dude,
this is
And
coaches
then
that have
he lets his hair grow.
Because he became a Buddhist.
divine ponytail.
No, but anyways, he goes to Juve. Lippi doesn't want him after Lippi comes. Then he goes to Inter. Lippi goes there, doesn't want him. In 2002, after all this shit, Trapattoni said to him, if you are fit, you are coming to the World Cup. He hurts his knee in January. Fucking the quickest recovery ever. He comes back. Baggio was my favorite Italian player, man. He comes back.
I'm actually not gonna lie. He's one of my favorite.
He comes back
honestly.
early in like 3 months when they said your injury is gonna be 6 months. Goes on the field. He comes on the field. Guardiola was playing for Brescia. Runs to the side and gives him the captain badge. Like, no, you're the captain. He's like, no, you're the only captain at Brescia. That's how much Guardiola respected him. So goes and plays, scores goals. Trapattoni doesn't take him. But listen to this quote. I found this. So when he played for Juventus, because he played everywhere, Baggio was on the bench. This is what Zidane said.
Well, he played
Baggio on the bench, that's something I'll never understand. Like, are you fucking serious?
Right? Yeah.
This is when it comes to coaching. Like, and then, you know what he says in the movie? He goes, I work hard. I show up all the time. I do my job. What am I doing wrong?
He intimidated guy. Was Giovanni Trapattoni the coach in that 1990?
In 2002.
Who's the
94,
coach?
94 was
who's
Saki.
90? Who's 90?
90 he played.
No, he didn't play. No, he didn't play. You know
played that goal. Remember that goal
no,
against
but
Czech
he
Republic?
no that he got brought on. The first game he started.
He never got.
That's the goal. You know when they go, oh yes, what a goal, Baggio.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And that was the game. He didn't start the first game. So who was the coach for Italy in '99 or 1990?
I don't know. 94.
I forget who it was. But like how
I was
dumb.
forward.
So the guy doesn't start. Then he scores a goal like that, and then we fast forward to '94.
Then they wanted to bench him too.
And because I think he was too good. I think he intimidated the coach.
I don't know.
I think.
Well, if you watch the movie,
Well, I'm gonna
Things
say
you
Italians
let's
aren't always
just
the
rest
easiest
them.
people.
Let's just rest
Right.
them for the next game. Who
Italians
knows,
are
man?
a fiery people.
So now I'll go with two more players because I think they like. So another thing that I think guys don't reach their ultimate potential. No, I think they did. They were really good, but I think they never got that profession, like that high. You're one of the top players because they don't win enough trophies. And I think that when you get stuck to a team because you love your team, it's amazing. When I grew up, my favorite player was Francesco Totti. If he would have left Roma,
That's so you.
no, but if he would have
That's
left
your guy.
Roma and went to Madrid, like because Madrid won him, would he have been way better? Like would people say he's better off? Would he have won Ballon d'Ors? Would he have?
Maybe.
I don't know.
You know
I don't
what?
know.
I think he probably would have because he's a goal scorer. He's like a Gary Lineker, the guy that pokes the ball in.
But he has
He's
an
scoring.
amazing vision. He knows where all the players. He's like kind of like Pirlo.
But he
but
did it in
more
Serie A,
in a
which is
forward.
defensive.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of great players. Like I watched this guy get hurt. I was in Italy. I've been to many stadiums in the world, but I watched Fiorentina live. We were driving to Switzerland. We stopped, and there was this guy, American-born, Italian player, and that year he scored a hat trick against Buffon, and they were first place in the league. January 7th, we were there. It's Giuseppe Rossi. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. He was yeah. So he hurt his knee at the game we were at. That was his third knee surgery. But the guy was an American-born, played for Italy, the national team. I'm not saying he would have been but you see these guys, it sucks. Injuries suck, man. And
Yeah, they
there's
do.
so much potential out there.
Yeah.
There's so many good players. What could we have seen, with all these players?
Question for you: do you rate Totti ahead of Baggio?
No, Baggio's
No,
Baggio, man.
Baggio's-
Baggio's
But-
Baggio.
but-
Baggio
I
to me is the
wouldn't.
best. A lot of people say, like, Miazza was good and
Maldini.
Maldini. But I don't know, like, Baggio
Different
in my
positions,
era.
right? Different positions.
Dude, the thing with
Dino
but
Soft.
But Baggio could score goals and create goals,
Yeah.
right? And that's my favorite player is a player that can score and create.
But that's what I'm saying. Different positions,
Different,
right?
yeah.
Like Maldini's one
Like,
of the best.
Fat Ronaldo was the best goal scorer
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
Ronaldinho made you smile.
Yeah.
He touched the ball.
Those are
Right? Those are players we don't see anymore. And that's what I'm-
Ronaldinho made you smile because he looked like the mask when he went.
But you,
out.
you look at a guy like, what's one of the top players in the world? Mbappe, right? Really
Right
good.
now, yeah.
But they're not Ronaldinho.
No,
They're
just,
not that
but they
that
don't have.
style's-
They don't have that skill. They don't have
But
that
no,
style.
who has
right?
that anymore?
But do you think in Italian
You know who has
They
that?
have- they have
you know,
different
you know
skills.
who has that style? The style like that you're talking about, are the kids in Brazil that don't have nothing, that are juggling the ball right now with no fucking shoes on.
Bro, like when you
And
played,
they-
you
all
had
they do is
style
just-
that like made it feel like you enjoyed watching the game. Like when you watch a guy, I know this now we're getting to amateur, but you make other players look good because even
He's
you're
an
a
amateur.
good
No, player plays his way. He's a professional.
Yeah, but in this level, but that do coaches not give people the freedom to do that stuff anymore? Is that gone?
That depends.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Like,
I think we had a lot of freedom because
Well, guys,
maybe-
you've got coaches at all levels that are douchebags, man. I'm telling you, you've got coaches who it's about them, not the boys.
So Copa America pick. If you just pick one team, I'ma just be easy and be Brazil.
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 You can't count out.
Maybe this is Messi's year, bro.
You know what? I'm going Argentina.
Brazil will win that.
Brazil. But Brazil, who's gonna be the other team? It could be like last one. Peru.
James.
Peru, Brazil was in the final.
Brazil
Chile, man, needs a striker.
Brazil, Uruguay.
Chile needs a team, dude, not a striker. Fuck. Like, they're golden boys, like Vidal and all those guys, they're done.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah.
now you don't hear anybody coming up from the Chile team. Like, they're done. They're,
What's his name?
There's one kid that
Bustajur.
plays. There's one kid that plays in Italy. I think he has tattoos on his neck.
yeah.
That guy's good.
Yeah,
too.
he's
What's his
not-
name?
It starts with a P, I think. I was gonna say Portugal, but it's not Portugal.
But you know what's crazy though
They,
is like,
they got the guy from England too, right?
but
now.
back in the day, I remember this guy. This guy was a super sub, and he played in like 4 different Italian clubs, and he was okay. But for Chile, he was good. Was Pena? You put him in with 10 minutes left, he's a super sub, man. You have that striker that's gonna score a goal.
That's the guy that missed the goal against Brazil, and then
But you have a guy like that. You don't have.
Okay,
You
but
don't
listen,
have a striker.
Dom, here's how much of a muppet you have to be when you miss a goal, like a wide open net.
When you hit the crossbar,
Yeah, he hit the crossbar like this.
you gotta be a big
Like,
muppet.
okay.
But he was a decent striker,
but,
super sub,
No,
though.
but listen. You haven't heard the rest of the story. So he goes up, and he fucking's got a wide open net, and he shoots, and he hits crossbar, and they lose because of that or whatever. And you know what the
They're
muppet
out.
does? He gets a tattoo of him hitting the crossbar on his fucking chest. How much of a loser do you have to be? Oh,
Who's this Schlinger?
yeah, this fucking Chilean.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
dude, he's
Pena.
for sure from your village, man.
Fuck, man.
Fuck, man.
I think he
Dude,
was from SS 106.
No, he's not from Catanzaro, bro.
He was-
Catanzaro right here. They're gonna be going to make Serie B, man. You know that Catanzaro beat Juventus in Milan
You know,
before I was born.
Is there a Serie Zeta?
Fuck, I wish because we could play there, bro. Me and you, man. You at 57, me at 36, and fucking
Serie
30 pounds
Zeta.
overweight,
Can
bro.
Nicky and I coach?
Serie Zeta? I don't want to be in Serie
Put me in,
Zeta.
coach.
Bro, if as long as I get paid and there's some groupies after the game. Oh, Jimmy.
Calgarian, welcome to the West. We weren't supposed to make it, but we made it, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the West. Safe to say it's my favorite, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the West. Trying to get paid quick and stay rich, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the West, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the West, yeah.